Hi, my name is Daniel Cotts. I'm a licensed tax attorney, and I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions that people have for me. People ask me all the time, why do you like tax law? Most people don't like the tax law. It's long, it's boring. I find it challenging, and I love the tax code. I really liked federal tax law in law school. I excelled at it. Then I took an advanced tax law class, and I loved it. I killed it. My professor actually used my answer on a project, my solution on a project, for an actual tax case that she was working. So tax law was speaking to me. So then I was in Southern Utah just practicing law at a law school, and I was talking with a colleague, and we were talking about tax, and I really loved tax in law school, and he suggested I get my LL.M in tax, which is an advanced degree in tax law. It's a specialization in the tax law. And so I did. I went to SMU, I got my LL.M in tax, and I love it. I loved everything about it. The tax code is long, it's confusing. I actually really like reading the tax code. My family thinks I'm kind of strange, but I love the tax code. In my spare time, I like to fish, I like to play poker. I'm active in my church. I go to Bible study every Wednesday. Spare time is kind of a misnomer because really, I just work most of the time. People ask me, what's the most important thing about the tax code that I don't know? And most people, they don't know much about the tax code, the tax law at all. Nearly 50% of Americans don't know what tax bracket they're in, or even there are tax brackets. People that try to figure things out themselves, they usually make a mistake. And trust me, the IRS, well, they'll let you know about it. I went to law school at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. I graduated in 1996. I'm kind of old. I got my LL.M in tax law from SMU in 2003. I worked for a number of years for different tax software companies, designing tax software and writing content for software. I really got into tax resolution, helping people with the IRS, something I always wanted to do since I was getting my LL.M. And I started Cotts law about 4.5 years ago and dove into tax resolution, and I've never been happier. There's lots of them. People think the IRS can't go after your Social Security. Absolutely, they can go after your Social Security. People think that if they file electronically, it increases their chances of audit. Actually, opposite is true. Chances of making an error are greater on paper. More paper returns get audited. IRS is not your friend. Revenue agents are specifically trained to be disarming and charming and get you to say the wrong thing. That's what they want to do. If they can get you to make a mistake, it helps their numbers. They're not your friend. I tell all my clients, don't talk to the IRS alone. If my clients want to talk to the IRS alone, I'm probably not going to represent them. The stakes are that high. I know what the IRS can and can't ask. They might say, gee, that's a nice Bentley you drove up in today. That's not a question they can ask. They're not supposed to ask financial status questions. Not supposed to ask about your artwork in your house, or your car, or your shoes, or your suit, or anything. If you're there without representation, then you don't know they can't ask that. Overstating deductions. Be reasonable. Don't make stuff up. People make stuff up all the time. It gets them in trouble. Be legitimate. The IRS will believe everything you say as long as you can prove it. I tell my clients, truth and honesty wrapped in proof. If you can prove it, it's going to be allowed. Another big target is people who file a Schedule C business on their personal return. They have a business they run, and they file it on their 1040. The Schedule C is the most audited schedule of anything in the entire tax code. Corporate law, partnership law, estate law, anything, Schedule C on 1040 return. My name is Daniel Cotts. I'm a licensed tax attorney. I deal with the IRS every day. If the IRS is coming after you, give me a call.